Greetings, people of the internets! Now, some of you may have seen a little while ago, Mattroks 101 did an interview with me. However, what some of you may not know is that that interview was highly edited and condensed. What you're about to see now is the full recording of what happened that evening. Oh, I'm sorry about the long wait for episode 30, but I promise it is coming and it is going to be brilliant. Okay, now here's the interview thing.
Work, or if I don't have... Yeah, it's working. Woo. I won't have to restart the call. Anyway, but yeah, I usually think of you, and I can't think of anyone else besides you that did it. Oh, I'm sorry, what were you saying? I cut you off.
I said I'll pretend to be concerned about your first world problems.
And I can't think of anyone besides you and Rizard that did it. So, who did it first?
Well, I think the very first was a chap called Toon Lord.
Oh, I never heard of him.
No, I mean, he's long since gone from YouTube. I mean, all his stuff's been towed, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he was the first. And then there was East Blue Studios and a couple of other guys that I think they got as far as Luffy the Man 91. He's still around, and he's got up to the beginning of the Baratier arc. So I guess he counts.
I've never heard of him. Like, the only One Piece bridges I know is you, Rizard, and I guess Purple Eyes counts.
Well, there's quite a few, but very few that actually have got it right, I think. Well, I would say that, but I suppose it makes me sound incredibly vain. But it's what I think.
I found one really old one that starred every abridger known to man.
Oh my god! Do you mean OPPA?
I think that's what it was called. It had like a gigantic cast and it only had one episode.
Yes, I know. I mean, it's about what, fourth when you type One Piece abridged into YouTube, isn't it?
It is? Oh, I never typed that into YouTube.
I do constantly to see how high up I am. I think I'm about third now. My first episode's third, and I'm behind Purple Eyes, obviously, and Team Nakama.
I take it you don't like Team Nakama?
Hate those guys. Hate those guys.
Oh my, well, we'll have to get into that in the interview.
Well, you're not recording any of this yet?
Oh, no. I was waiting for you. I didn't know if you were ready or not. This is the one that X the Mode edited and said he hated this. The Team Nakama, he hated that. And he had to edit it. He said this was the worst piece of crap he ever made.
Well, I'm glad somebody shares my opinion.
He said it was so unfunny, and he said the only funny joke people said was the ones he added in editing. He said that was like the most biggest piece of crap he ever made. And yes, I had been recording this, but I wasn't like professional yet. And let's see.
That's okay. Neither am I.
All right. So if it's okay with you, I can go ahead and begin and start asking questions. Is that all right with you?
Well, I got one question for you first.
Oh yes, sure.
At the start of the interviews, you usually show a clip from whoever's series you're interviewing, don't you?
Yes, I do. Do you have
what you plan to use for me?
I have no idea. That's the thing I do very last, and I'm not even. That's why I haven't gotten this interview out yet. Is I haven't chosen that clip.
Oh right. I thought you picked it beforehand.
Oh no. Sad to say, I'm not that organized. You can tell me what clip you want to use. No one's ever told me what clip they want me to use.
I don't know. I mean, let's think.
I just go through the series and like right after I'm done editing the interview and pick the funniest line, which for you is going to be pretty hard.
Well, I suppose you better just use your own judgment for that, because let's think. Humor is an entirely subjective concept, if that makes any sense.
Yes, it does.
Good. I've been worried about that. I say that out loud to people, and there's just no reaction on their faces. It's really worrying.
I entirely understand.
Thank goodness.
So,
okay, you got questions now.
Alrighty. 1 second. Okay. Hello, everyone. It's me, Mattroks 101, and welcome to another Mattroks 101 Abridged interview. I haven't done these in forever. Anyway, today I have. How do you say your name again? I am so sorry. Urabi?
This guy's been talking for about 6 minutes so far, and suddenly he launched into this professional stuff. Just saying to all the people out there. We haven't just started.
Anyway, what's your name again? I can't think of how to pronounce your name. I've never known how to pronounce your name.
You know what? I barely ever say it out loud, so it's you can say it however you want. I'll probably know what you're on about.
Urabi210? Urabi? I don't know.
I suppose it'd be funniest if you changed it every time you said it. That's what I do.
Anyway, he's the creator of One Piece Abridged, another one. But it's okay. One Piece is a great show to abridge. Anyway, he's
Yeah.
the one that has, I think, the most episodes, aren't you? The most
28.
28
With the
episodes.
29th on the way.
Hmm?
I said 28 with the 29th on the way.
Awesome.
Sort of.
He's got the most episodes, one of the longest running. I want to say one of the first, but I found out he's not. Anyway, so
He only found that out 5 minutes ago.
yes, I did. So anyway, my first question is
You don't sound professional anymore.
so my first question for you is how did you get into abridging?
Well, I figured you might say that, so I've prepared something of an answer. I suppose it all started back in school when a couple of friends of mine said, "Hey, you heard this thing called Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series? It's awesome, you should watch it." So I did, and I thought, well, this is awesome, I should watch it more. So I did watch it more, and then I thought, eventually, after about a year of going back and forth in that manner, I thought, you know what? I could have a go at this. Let's see what happens. So, being full of youthful enthusiasm and Windows Movie Maker, what did I do? Yes, I remember now. I dug through my DVD collection, trying to find something that I could actually abridge, and the first thing I grabbed was a DVD of Pokemon Chronicles. Yeah.
I've never even
You
heard
see
of
this is
that.
going already. What?
I've never even heard of Pokemon Chronicles.
Oh, well, basically, it's meant to be set during the early Hoenn episodes, but it's basically whatever happened to Misty and Brock and all the other supporting characters we don't care about whilst Ash was doing awesome stuff in Hoenn.
So where'd you go from there? How'd you get into
It's not very
One
good.
Piece?
Well, I made a tiny little abridged version of that. I think it must have been in Ort 7. And it was absolutely shit in terms of production standards. But I thought it was quite funny. But then it wasn't. And then eventually, after Little Karibo started his Naruto the Abridged Comedy Fandom, the rest show,
Mm-hmm.
and Iruka kept saying, "I like One Piece, I like One Piece, One Piece is awesome, Zolo, Luffy, why don't you like One Piece, because Bleach is shit!" etc.
Oh, wow, I agree.
It's alright, actually. I think Bleach is alright. I keep meaning to start watching it, but I never got around to it. But anyway, so I wondered to myself, what is this One Piece thing? Because this is a joke that I don't get. I shall investigate. So I investigated, and I started watching One Piece, and I thought, holy crap, this is awesome. So I kept watching One Piece, and by the time I got to the Drum Kingdom arc, I thought to myself, I could make an abridged version of this. But it was just a pipe dream at the time, and I thought I'd do it at some point in the future, but never really got around to it. Then one rainy Saturday afternoon, I thought, I got nothing to do. I'll start making a One Piece abridged series.
And lo and
And it
behold.
just spiraled from there.
That is awesome. So, tell me, how do you, where did your name come from? The username you chose. Where did that come from?
Urubi is a Yu-Gi-Oh card, and 210 is a number that I like the sound of. Go figure.
Oh, I didn't know that. I play Yu-Gi-Oh.
It's not very good, just no effect, dinosaur, Earth, 1500, 1200. 4 stars.
That's cool. That makes the second person I've interviewed whose name came from a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
You've interviewed Little Karibo?
Nope, that was Reborn Zombie.
Never heard of it.
No, yep, yeah, it's a
What does he
Yu-Gi-Oh
do?
card. He's the one who makes Neon Genesis Evangelion abridged.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. Anyway, so how do you make your what's the process you go through to make your episodes?
Well, once again, predictable question, so I know exactly what to say. It starts off with me just... Hang on, people are shouting outside my window. I'm going to have a look at what the hell's going on.
That can't be very good.
I'm at a university, it happens. Once there was a full-scale punch-up, big rioting fight outside. It was about 100 drunken students, most of them cross-dressing, pissing in bottles of beer.
Sounded like a great time.
Yes, and the university staff tried to intervene, but they got egged into submission.
Goodness gracious.
It
So
was
anyway,
jolly fun to watch from a high window. But anyway, enough about that. One Piece and stuff. Well, I start by watching the episodes that I'm going to abridge. And by this I mean, I mean, this is probably months or years in advance because I'm just working through the series in order.
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm watching the episodes, I note down any jokes that I think would be a good idea to make, or any story ideas or plot twists that aren't in the show, or completely pointless sudden left turns I want to put in, and I write them down. Then when it comes to actually make that abridged episode, I refer back to my notes and I work them up into a full script, adding in any jokes I think up at the time when I watch through the episodes again. Then, once I've got that script, I send it to my co-conspirator Munjeej, and he peppers it with popular culture references and anything he finds funny in his drug-addled mind. And then he sends that back to me, and I incorporate his edits into the final script, which I then send off to everyone who's got... hang on, Luffy the Man 91 just messaged me on Skype. I'll just be a second. Ah, damn it, he's quit the series for good. Bastard. Anyway. What was I saying?
You were explaining how you do your episodes.
I certainly was. And what I said was, I send the lines out to everybody who's got a part in that episode. They record their lines and send them back to me. So then I go through the script, building up the soundtrack in Audacity. I put in their lines where they are there, and I add in my own lines when they're needed, and I add sound effects and music over the top and export that as one giant WAV file. Put that into Adobe Premiere, because I have it. That's not boasting, but I do. Therefore, I'm better than everybody else. And then I edit some pictures over it. Lip sync, visual effects, diddly diddly do. Publish, check for errors, republish, check for more errors, hit it until there aren't any more errors, republish it, upload it to YouTube, and then wait for the comments to roll in.
Wow. Quite the process.
Does the job.
So, in which area do you think you excel the most in between like scripting and editing and voice acting?
Well, that's a good question.
Indeed, it is.
I'm not sure whether I could really be said to excel in any of them over the
Which
others.
one do you not suck in? Let's put it like that.
I suppose I don't suck at scripting and I don't suck at editing. I'm not sure about the voice acting. I just try to do my best.
Okay, so what pro? Oh, well, I guess you kind of already answered this, but what stuff do you use? What stuff do you use to make your episodes?
When you say stuff, do you mean software?
Software, microphones, stuff like that.
Okay, yes, well, I use VLC Media Player to watch the episodes because they're DVD rips. Because I buy the DVDs and support the official releases, like you people should too. You people
You're
listening
a
fucking know who you are.
supporter. Oh.
Yeah, you people know who you are. Stop torrenting. It's bad. And you can't
it is
see me,
a
but
show
I'm
about
pointing at the
pirates.
microphone with my accusing finger. I should probably be pointing at the screen, but I'm pointing at the microphone instead because that's where my voice is going.
Well, they are pirates after all.
Exactly
It's a show
right.
about pirates.
Not that kind of pirate.
Go,
We're Peacemain over here.
go on.
And very few One Piece fans will get that, but we're Peacemain over here. Fuck Morganeers with their torrenting. But anyway, do you get that?
No, I don't get that joke, but I'm sure somewhere someone gets that joke.
I'm sure they do. Anyway, yes. Then I write the script with WordPad, not Microsoft Word or Notepad, because they're just them. I record with hang on, I've still got the box somewhere. Fuck it. It's a Pro Sound microphone. I can't remember the exact model number, but I use that, and you can hear how good it is.
Indeed.
And then I make up the script in Audacity. I use Mozilla Firefox to go to the website where I download sound effects from, www.freesound.org. It's good for sound effects and stuff.
Never heard of it. Have to look
And
that
since
up.
I've credited them, that means I can't be sued. Hooray.
Nice.
This counts as me crediting them. And then I use Adobe Premiere Pro CS5 to edit the video.
I would use that, except my computer literally won't handle it. It
How can
won't
you
let me
afford
install it. Every time I go to install it, it says will not install. So Sony Vegas Pro 8 for me.
What operating system are you running?
Of Windows Vista. I don't have enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get a bit technical here, so
I don't have enough gigs of RAM. It says I don't have enough gigs of RAM to run it. I need at least 4 or something, apparently, according to the installer.
Oh Jesus Christ, that's bollocks. I'm running Windows 7 64-bit on a machine with 2 gigabytes of RAM and a 2.2 gigahertz processor, and it works.
Well,
You probably just haven't got a 64-bit operating system.
no, I don't. I only have a
Well,
32-bit.
that's why it doesn't work.
Exactly.
Plus
So,
Vista shit anyway.
was that
Okay, we're not technical anymore. You can come back. Stop watching what Nun Piece and come back to this. It's much better. It's got me in it.
were you done or?
Done what?
Oh, okay. So, anyway, where do you take your major influence from?
Do you mean where do I get my jokes from?
That works too, I guess. I just meant like what inspires you, or not what inspires you, I guess, but where do you get your influence from? You know, who influences you and who inspires you in your
Oh God,
series?
I suppose my style of humour has been influenced quite a bit by, well, the bigger bridges like Little Karibo and Team Four Star, in as much as I'm trying to point out the flaws in the series and having other characters describe exactly what is happening to them in great detail for no reason. Also, I'm trying to inject a little bit of sort of completely pointless and stupid humour, sort of like Purple Eyes, but a little bit more sophisticated and sort of illogical logic. I find that incredibly funny, and I'm hoping some other people do as well.
I see. I think someone just shouted my name. I'll be right back.
See, ladies and gentlemen, that's professionalism from Mattroks 101 there. Somebody calling his name so he goes away.
And I'm back. I'm gonna have to do so much heavy editing on this. You were saying,
No, you're not going to edit a single bit of this.
regardless. Moving on. What were you saying?
I'm saying don't edit that out.
But you were answering the question.
Yes, and I finished. No,
Oh, okay. Well, next
next
question
one.
I have is, do you have any regrets about your series?
Yes, I do.
Do you care to elaborate?
Oh, all right then. Um, I suppose I regret when I started out the series, I wish I'd got a completely new computer that was nice and high spec that could run Premiere in the first place, rather than waiting for 3 episodes and doing it then.
Hmm. That it? Okay then. So, who's
And
your favorite
better.
character out of your series?
Well, from my series.
Yes, your series.
Oh God. I'm
I already
thinking.
know
I'm
my
thinking.
answer. I know my answer.
It's Usopp, isn't it?
What?
It's Usopp, isn't it? It's
How'd you
Usopp,
guess?
isn't it?
How'd you guess?
Because 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 he's just Usopp, isn't he?
Yes, yes, he is.
He's our Nappa.
But anyway, I
And
didn't let
I
you
suppose
win.
that makes the sniper our ghost napper, but we're not going to go there. But my favourite character, I don't want to say Usopp because that would be like admitting that Munjij is better than me at stuff, and I don't want to do that. So um, I'm gonna say Frog Jesus,
Oh yes, Frog Jesus, he is a
even
pretty
though
cool
that was
character.
Archie's idea as well.
I will admit though, Frog Jesus is a pretty cool character. Don't like
Mm,
him as much as Usopp, but you know he has his charm.
he does.
So out of your
But
28
again, Usopp.
episodes,
Then
oh,
again,
sorry,
to be fair, Usopp can't smite you down from Frog Heaven,
that is true.
or even generic Amphibian Heaven.
Yeah. So out of all of your 28 episodes, which one of this is your favorite?
23.
23?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember 23.
Second half of Little Garden.
Oh yes, yes. Do you have a reason why, or is it just the first number that popped
I
into
think
your head?
no, I think it's the one that has the largest amount of jokes that went well. I think I didn't make any easily noticeable editing fuck ups. I think it was one of the best written and best acted and just generally good.
Number 18's my favorite.
Ah, I see.
But
Is that
that's
because
just
of the little song?
No, actually, it's not.
Oh. Is it because of the Back to the Future bit at the beginning?
Nope.
Is it because of Crocus being a vampire?
Nope.
Well, what is it because of then?
The whale.
The whale?
A whale.
A whale?
A whale.
A whale?
A whale.
A whale? Oh, wait,
A whale.
I read that.
That single-handedly.
Nobody else is here, so it's just gonna rotate between myself and Sanji saying a whale. It could go on for hours.
So after you finish your series, if that's humanly, physically, and spiritually
Well,
possible, what do you think
I
you'll
do
do
plan-
next?
I do plan to keep going until I get to the end, but I think after Marineford and all the post-Marineford bits, when we get to the time skip, I think I'm going to take some time out and make another abridged series.
What series will that be?
Well, I'm weighing my options at the moment because it's, way, way off in the future, like probably 10 years or something, ish.
The 15th year of abridging.
Yeah, I suppose it will be. Well, if when Team 4 Star finish DBZ abridged, if they don't go back and do Dragon Ball abridged, I would like to.
Is that all?
And the first episode shall be called Goku versus Dignity.
I'm looking
And it
forward
shall
to that.
begin with the loud narrator saying, "Once upon a time, there was a boy named..." Cut to Broly. "Kakarot!" Not yet. And I don't really know where we're going to go from there.
Well, I look forward to that then.
So do I.
So, what were you least expecting when you first began abridging? What was the thing you were expecting the least?
Oh god, that's an interesting question. I'm not sure really. What was I expecting the least? I don't know.
Then what were you
I'm not
expecting?
sure there was anything that really, really took me by surprise. No, I blink you in.
You still there? I thought I lost you.
I thought I lost you. You seem to stop talking.
Yeah, I kind of cut out. Anyway, I'm assuming you answered that question.
Yeah, I totally did.
Yay. Anyway, here's hoping. So anyway, my final question for you is, what advice do you have for new abridgers and upcoming abridgers?
Final?
Yes, final.
Oh,
Well,
right.
actually, I do have one more question after that, but I'll
Good,
save it for
good,
your
good.
answer.
Right, what were you asking just now?
What advice do you have for new and upcoming abridgers?
Well, I don't want to sound harsh, but the best advice I have in you is in 99% of cases, don't even bother.
Oh my, that sounds harsh.
I did say.
Do you care to elaborate on why?
Well, it's because, well, let's be utterly realistic here. 99% of abridged series are just shit, aren't they?
Yeah, I guess that is pretty
Yeah.
true.
And the internet would just be better off without them.
All right, and
Like
now for my
Rebecca Black.
final. Oh, I'm sorry. Go on. I interrupted you.
Well, it's just I was comparing them to Rebecca Black because the internet would also be better off without her.
So now my final question is probably the question you
Do
were.
you know that the
Oh, wait.
21st of December 2012 will be a Friday?
No, I didn't know that.
That's all I'm saying.
So now the question you probably saw coming, and you
I
probably,
didn't.
yeah, you probably saw this coming. Where did you get that voice for Luffy that everyone hates so much, and why do you use it so often if everyone
Well,
hates it so much? Do you just do it despite everybody?
well, at first, I was just trying I tried to emulate the dub voice for Luffy, but it didn't really work out. But I thought, for continuity's sake, let's run with it.
That's it.
And then eventually people started thinking, oh, it's not very good. Blah, blah, blah. I don't like this. But then I thought, yeah, let's do it to make fun of them. And now I'm just doing it as a sort of combination of both.
Hmm. That is interesting stuff. Well, that was all the questions I had for you. Thank you so much for your
Think
time.
of some more then.
What?
Think of some more then.
Well, too bad. Anyway, thank you so much for your time.
Ain't too bad.
This has been Mattroks 101, and this is Euraby, 2010.
No, try again.
I was waiting for you to catch that. 210.
I always catch that. I
210.
also catch the people who do it. Have you
210.
seen Saw 3D?
210, he's the creator of One Piece Abridged, and
That's great.
that was it.